going on? It is I think it's the 19th, I think. Well, I do know that it's 6:57 p.m. And I think it's the 19th or the 20th of July. Yeah, it's the 19th. It is. Taking my dog out right now. Yeah. Visitors. Anyway. I feels really good out here right now. I'm gonna take him out a little bit later, I think. But it's Tuesday, 2016, and tomorrow at 1:15, something like that, I have my conference call. Seems like they're supposed to call me. That's what it seems like. I actually got stood up today, so I'm kind of like on the fence about, people who are supposed to keep their word. Kind of on the fence about it, a little bit. Literally, I was supposed to be meeting this friend, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, sure, I'm still on my way, and like, they just didn't come, and I'm like, okay, I kept texting them, are you here, are you good, what's going, alright, let me know when you're gonna be here, and they just, no reply, and they reply later, oh, sure, something like that, but then, I don't know. The funny thing is, they live within this city. That's the thing. So they live here. They do. So it's not like, oh yeah, my car broke down and I'm just so far away. Nope. So I don't know what's going on with that. I get it. I guess things come up though. Can't be too mad. Come on, boy, come on. But this isn't about anything else. Even though I've wasted these the first 2, maybe 3 minutes talking about something else. I realized earlier today just how gracious, the Father is and everything. And one of the ways is by this stuff, right? My droopy shorts and my cutaway, sleeveless shirts, and maybe someone's like, so, and I was picking out something to wear maybe that's the whole reason of today. There are things in disguise sometimes, and you look back on it, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that this happened to me. I can't believe that, this, and this. If this hadn't happened, if I hadn't broken down that one random day and had a flat tire, I could have been sucked into this tornado or something. I don't know, just I would have been over here. If I was over here, that meant that I would have been involved in this, and this. And this, and this would have, killed me. It would have wrecked me. It would have wrecked my life. It would have been a temptation or whatever. Would have been a bad influence. Because I know that sometimes I'm weak. You see, it's like the Father, he's great enough to restore things and allow his grace, and he's great enough to see past me, see the bigger picture, see things coming that I don't even know. So he protects me. And yeah. What I'm talking about are, I was picking out something to wear in the mist. I'm sorry, I just woke up, so my voice is kind of, and I'm kind of, I'm still a little bit, a little bit of that too. I don't know what that is, but, trying to clear my throat. But in the midst of while I was getting ready to pick out something to wear, scanning through my shirts, I was like, well, maybe I can switch it up, because this friend had already seen me. They live in Durham, so like I said, we were going to be meeting literally around the corner from where I live, so at this Burlington. That was going to be great. No hassle, not much of a worry. And anyway, yeah. I was like, maybe I can switch it up this time. Maybe I can be like more like a feminine wear, like more like a feminine apparel or something. Maybe show them something different. Show them like a different side about me and disregard my dog barking in the background. That's all it is. People are passing by. That's what it is. There's this little kid who's riding their bike, so in a few minutes he's probably gonna start barking again. Maybe. But I'm like, I guess I don't really feel as up to it as I thought. So I go to the other side of my closet, because I've talked about this, the two sides of my closets. And I still kind of do that now. Now my full closet range is fully more masculine set, more male set John, as it was before in my trans identity. Now I just think of it as just me, right? Just my neutral bliss, carefree, comfortable, and when I'm up to it, when I'm actually feeling up to it, yeah, my masculine self, right? And my more feminine stuff, they're like, that stuff is still in the bags at the bottom of my closet. That's just how it is because I haven't moved it yet. I haven't moved it yet at all. And I'm not going to do that because, I'm going to move. So, I'm comfortable with things as they are, just getting things together, packing things up. Why am I going to switch things around? And that's another reason why I didn't want to move anything. It's kind of being lazy. I don't want to move this because if I move it, then this means that I have to move it back, that kind of thing. And anyway, yeah. Well, I realize that the less feminine apparel that I wear, it's like, less attraction of a guy I'm going to get, right? Less guys I'm going to have looking my way. But I think that's okay because, to be honest, it would just make me, I'm not ready for all that now. It made me very uncomfortable getting that kind of treatment. I'm not ready for that yet. So like I said, baby steps. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely been on my mind more. I'm surprised how much more, me thinking about being with a guy has, been on my mind. Whether it's I'm thinking about how good it could be through, a manifestation of how good God is. Well, how good the Father is, excuse me. Or just because my personal curiosity. Or even just personal kind of desire. And I'm just kind of letting my head, right? Rufus, letting the screenplay play out in my head. Of me going out with this guy, and he's taller than me and he's strong. Oh, look at the geese. Y'all see that? He's stronger, and it's funny, all that other mess I used to think of, whenever I would think of, I don't know if it's just because, girls are girls, and I'm so used to them having, a certain sense of style, but in my fantasies, I never imagine my guy, oh, wow, he has such a sense of style, he's so great, he's so cool, right? He has, a motorcycle. No, it's nothing like that. I'm not looking at, his sense of style. Oh, my God, girl, look at his shoes. Oh, I can't date him. It's never anything like that, so I actually like that too. I just noticed that it's never, I'm looking at the guy for superficial crap. I'm literally imagining them for what they provide, and the more masculine things about them, and the more ground level things about, a man and a boyfriend, a partner, that kind of stuff, a companion, and, them holding my hand and all that kind of stuff. And it's funny, what I notice is, probably because it is harder for me to imagine opening up a little bit more for males, even in my imagination. But what I'm noticing, the things I'm starting to think about and think about less, they're still, fantasize about one or two girls pretty heavily. I'm not gonna deny, but it's not like I'm fantasizing about, these girls that I just put together in my mind. If anything, they're past things, past relations, or, I imagine myself with them again in some kind of way. Maybe ways I can be better, or they can be better, because, it wasn't a bed of roses, but on either of our side, we weren't experts at each other on either of our sides, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. there's so much pressure that I put on myself to try to, meet expectations already. And that really kills and, distracts you from focusing on just having fun and getting to know each other, and the actual love. Because love isn't hard and painful and stressful. It's supposed to be, fun and warm and inviting and things like that, It's not supposed to be work, But what I notice less about my fantasies about guys versus girls is, like I said, I'm not, it's less superficial. Okay, how big are his arms, and how much muscle does he have, and I fantasize of almost kind of any range of guy. I mean, any guy that I do, they're still in the pretty muscular range. You can tell they're lean, but it's not like, oh yeah, I'm past Taylor Lautner, right? Because he doesn't look that way anymore. Oh yeah, hear me roar, let me puff out my chest, right? No, it's like your average looking guy. They're kind of built a little bit, or you have your kind of more massive Titanic guy. I'm not talking about what is it, like Terry Crews. I'm not talking about that, or Dwayne, right? Johnson. I'm not talking about all that, right? I'm not talking about that. But I mean, I think about less superficial stuff. Like I compare less of like, oh, his lips look like this, and his top lip isn't this small, and his bottom lip is only this small, and his eyes are shaped like this, and his eye color is like this. No, but see, with girls, I do that a lot more in my fantasies. I'm like, oh, her hair is like this, and her hair length is like this, and maybe that's because my own feminine tendencies to just be so detailed and kind of rearrange and nitpick, right? And try to get everything to a certain way. But also I expect that more females to be like more of a thing, to worry more about, certain nitty gritty things, like even their attire, right? Even their sense of style, right? So it's one thing I noticed, but another thing that I noticed is with girls, I think about, and this is what I've noticed for a while now, when I fantasize about girls, it's more sexual. I usually fantasize about us, in a more sexual ways, and there's always some kind of sex, like sexual hunch coming, right? I remember like a while ago, like I started to pick up on this. Okay, why do I keep doing this? Why do I only fantasize about these things? Because if we weren't having sex or doing something sexual to begin with, it would always lead to that. That was always the pitch, always the catch in my fantasies, right? And looking back on it, I remember that's kind of always how it was. Like most of my relationships with girls, and I've heard this cliche about like lesbian relationships, but it's just about sex and I guess sexual perversion and just sexual exploration and individuality, like rebellion type stuff. Oh, look what I can do! Look how much of this I can do. Right? It's never really about the love and commitment, and nothing really holds you down. But ironically, in reality, that's exactly what I wanted out of a girl and girl relationship. That's exactly what I wanted. But at the same time, I realized how I was living in the flesh. Most of the time, I noticed a pattern with my girlfriends. It started out as wanting love and to really get to deeply know them. But pretty soon, it's like, I noticed I didn't really like them as much, or they were different from what I thought, but I still stayed with them, and we just kind of kept hooking up. And that was like the new addictive drug that kept us together. It was just the sex. And I feel like that played out heavily in my fantasies with girls, because like I said, these fantasies I fantasize about guys, probably because I'm not as, on board with, imagining myself kissing and everything guys, and, lately I have been, and that's another thing. I think that's great. I've been imagining more sexual things, trying not to. Because think about sexual things, lustful things, they really take over my mind, and, either way, fantasies, whatever it is, it distracts you from reality, Besides what you say you're going to do, what do you do with your hands? How do you actually carry out things? So that's what it is, in the beginning, I was kind of uncomfortable with some of the things that I was thinking when it came to sexual things. Like, because I'm not used to that, like, between me and males, like, in my fantasies, and I would, like, snap out of it. I'd be like, whoa, like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on here? But like I said, like I was saying, I notice it's not like that with guys. If I fantasize about me and guys, and I feel like in reality, it'll be easier to have less of a pressure of sexual things, because it wasn't like that when I was younger. When I was younger, I thought that we're girlfriend and boyfriends, and girlfriend and boyfriends are supposed to do girlfriend and boyfriend stuff, right? Because, you know, like, I saw the stuff that I saw on TV about how men and women are supposed to be and how they're supposed to be so loving. Girlfriends and boyfriends, right? And then it's like almost every show eventually had some kind of thing of girlfriend and boyfriends, whether it was Disney Channel or Nickelodeon show. Had some kind of thing, right? About girlfriend and boyfriends and hooking up. And I've looked into that and how, Disney is corrupt and all this mess and premarital, like this, not predictive programming, but just programming, right? Of your kids. And I can look back and honestly say, yeah, I remember thinking certain things because I was shown things from TV. And it was so heavy. It wasn't just this show, it was the next show. And things filtered in, right? Things filtered through. Suddenly you had all these shows that kind of promoted some of the same things, and they weren't healthy things. They weren't about values. They weren't about things that were actually healthy, especially when it came to healthy opposite sex relationships, right? Everyone was worrying about, who was dating who, and the girls were dressing a certain way, and promoting women to have to be a certain way to even get a male's attention. And then like I said, when I was younger, I would go to school and all these other kids would be talking about, Derek and Sarah, they were doing XYZ behind the bleachers today. So everyone was talking about what video, right, they saw, or, what channel they hooked up or whatever, and their brother, them and their brother watched or something last night, and they'll be talking about all these terms and moves. Now, I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, oh, what's that? So, of course, I was curious, and like I said, I didn't have any friends, and I wanted to, that's what they were talking about, so I wanted to have something to talk about too, and I thought this is what you had to do, literally, to be cool. And if you didn't have a boyfriend to do those boyfriend-girlfriend stuff with, like, to do that stuff with, then you weren't cool. There was something kind of wrong with you. You weren't, and I already did like girls, so I thought that maybe this was a way to be better, to be straighter, right? To just go ahead and get a boyfriend. Hang on. Shh. Hey, stop. Oof. Alright, boy. Yeah. So, it was just a lot of programming and a lot of confusing things. And when I was a kid, I didn't ask about certain things because, I'm embarrassed. Like, I was told you're not supposed to be worrying about this. But it's like, I was curious about it. And I would hear this and this. And it's like, if I didn't know what it meant, right? It's like the topic wasn't very open. I felt embarrassed, and I was told, furthermore, okay, you're not supposed to be thinking about this, and maybe I'll be told like a slither of what X, Y, and Z term meant, or what this meant, or whatever. But I was told, okay, now let it go, right? Drop it. Don't think about this stuff anymore. Don't think about it as heavily. Don't worry about it. You're young, don't worry about it. But I'm curious. I was curious, And anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, the whole boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, I don't feel such a pressure anymore with that, like, and I know it probably has to do, I don't know, maybe this was like a gift that the Father had given me, because he knew that from such an early age, I'm so used to, okay, this is how relationships are, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to feel you're supposed to be doing as a girlfriend, right? If the boyfriend asks for this, you're supposed to give it up, right? And that included whenever my boyfriends would want me to do, on them. So I thought you're supposed to, because he's the boy, he's the male. You're supposed to listen to him and follow his leadership. That's what it was. And anyway, I'm not saying like I was ever like force rape. I'm not saying all that, but I'm just saying I know definitely there were times I didn't want to do X, Y, and Z, but I did it because I felt like it's boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, and we're modeling after mommy and daddy. Right? And I wanted to model after mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy were like a role model to me. Even if I didn't always understand, because I've already talked plenty about how I saw my stepdad act a certain way and my mom respond a certain way. I didn't understand why that was right, how certain things happened and why it played out, but I just knew that, also from being told girls and boys go together, right? So either way, I told myself and I convinced myself, well, I guess either way this is right. because girls and boys are supposed to go together, right? And of course, I was told, not right now, though. You're not supposed to be having that stuff right now. But like I said, there was so much pressure and clouded judgment already. And pressure from all different angles. There was pressure to feel normal. There was pressure, at school and just within myself. And there was pressure just to see what it was about. And it's like, if you don't have this curiosity like everyone else, then there's something wrong with you. You're the weird one. If you're not coming to school having things to share about moves and terms and positions and all this other mess and what you did last Tuesday and what you got to sneak and get away with and how you guys didn't get caught, right? Well, then there's something wrong with you. I'm going to say, like, my fantasies, like, I already notice maybe this is the Father giving me a gift or something to actually undo my little mistakes and undo that little girl curiosity that I just kind of jumped in feet first without thinking about much, and putting it aside because I wanted the experience. That's what it was mainly about whenever I would copy this or copy that. I wanted the experience. That's really what it was. I wanted to see, okay, what does this feel like? Why do people keep talking about this? Let me try it. That's exactly what it was. But maybe now it's actually good that I'm not thinking so heavily about that. Maybe it's good that I don't have this immediate attraction to them, because I would be wild, right? If I'm up in the air and I don't care because it's just about experience, it's just have some so-called good time. Maybe not always on my end, because like I said, I didn't always enjoy doing that stuff. It was just something I was doing for the time being. Anyway, whenever I would be doing whatever physical thing to my boyfriend or whatever. But I can also say the same thing, like, when I was younger, when that girl was making me do X, Y, and Z on her, it was more forceful then. It was totally, completely more forceful. So, Anyway, with the girl situation it was. But when I was doing what she wanted me to do, I already talked about how I felt about that. Literally, the moments that I was doing X, Y, and Z to her. But anyway, I know that in my video called I was molested by a girl when I was younger or something like that. But I can tell you honestly that when I was doing this, or this, it was just something I was doing. There wasn't any feeling involved. I didn't have like any spark of, ooh, okay, I like this. This makes me feel nice. Like there's today. And I don't know if I can say that if I were to do X, Y, and Z with a guy again, if there would be a spark of, ooh, okay, yeah, I really like this. This makes me feel nice. I don't know. So I feel like it's actually a gift right now that I'm not able to have that. It's just like give me like little taste at a time. But I know even fantasizing about doing X, Y, Z, sexual stuff or whatever, or just whatever, like laying like on a guy's chest, it does spark. It does like jar me down there. So that's something new and it's kind of exciting. But like I said, yeah, when I was younger, it was a little bit more bliss, a little bit more free. I'd say less complications besides just don't get caught, right? By my mom, by, my stepdad. That's what it was. But I didn't have anything on my mind about how it would affect me or how it was affecting me. I was just going along with things, and yeah. But now I look back, and anyway, I'm just saying, like, I noticed my fantasies with guys versus, I'm saying, like, still modern today. They're not as sexual. The thing about me and a girl, it's automatically starts out as sex automatically, or it always builds up to that. There's always, like, this hunch of, this underlining tone of, okay, so when are we going to take our clothes off? That's always what it is. But anyway, no, when I'm fantasizing about a guy, like, we're actually genuinely out holding hands, getting to know each other, having a good time. When we kiss, it doesn't always have to lead up to this, and this. Now, of course, we would both, like, get all charged. I don't know, like, how to say it, but we wouldn't do anything about it. We knew we didn't have to, Even in the fantasy, though, I felt a little bit guilty that I was, like, withholding myself from him, because I felt like, as a guy, I'm not supposed to make him wait. right? Because there's a bit of confusion still today. Like, okay, so am I like emasculating my man or any man I would be dating, any boyfriend or whatever? Um, because let's say I'm not ready to do this. Maybe he does. Like, am I withholding this from him and is it wrong? Would he just want to go and find someone else? But I know if he does want to do that, that proves that he's not, a good one anyway. I know that shouldn't be the main focus, and that shouldn't make you so frustrated. Like, oh, you're just not giving up. I guess I'll just break up with you. No, that's dumb. You know. But to be honest, I know that I've started to feel frustrated, right? Because I was feeling one way, and the girl I was dating, she wasn't, right? Whether it was like, I felt like she was being a tease or whatever. I don't mean like in the, TV depicted way. Like, oh, okay, you're being a tease. Let me just grab you and take it myself. No, that's not what I mean. But I mean, I would get frustrated because she'd be like, oh, I'm not really in the mood, or I'll start kissing her neck, and then I'm trying to, anyway. And she would be like, oh, not right now, or, we do that too much, or what. I'm like, girl, like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do now? Like, help me out a little bit, because, girl, you had me all feeling this way, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know, it's pitiful. Oh, it's human. Anyway, or whether it was, like, our very first time, I know before, like, we had ever done anything with each other, there was so much eagerness, to just jump in and start touching and, experiencing and feeling things and whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, even on my girlfriend's side too, yeah, definitely. I can definitely name some girlfriends who have been really eager to be with me as well. The very first time and the 20 times after that. And still months down the line after that. So yeah. I just know that it's something interesting, I think. But anyway, I feel like he's really changed my heart. This isn't at all what I wanted to talk about, but it's something that I got into. I'm just going to make this video. I'm going to call it, the grace of the Father and how he's changing my heart. Slowly but surely, I do feel it. And we can think anything. I can think all sorts of things. Doesn't mean I'm going to act it out. Doesn't mean it's actually anything I'm going to do. Any way I want to, like, carry my life, I can fantasize so many times about me being a librarian. I admit there is some kind of subconscious levels of why you're doing and thinking what you're thinking, and it's good to look into it, but I know if something's not really in my heart, then it's just kind of for fun. But I also know you have to be careful what you think. But I do know that I'm just enjoying what he's allowing me to have, because I've never had this before. When I'm fantasizing what I fantasize about, I'm genuinely really feeling loved. I'm feeling like I'm having a good time with these guys. Whatever I imagine them to look like, and I'm not as particular. Obviously, they're always taller than me. Maybe they're my same skin tone, or maybe they're darker than me. Maybe, I don't, But either way, they are black. I know that, because when I was younger, I used to be like, oh yeah, white guys. And it was always white guys. Maybe an Indian guy, a Latino, Asian. But it was rarely black guys. But now it's just like, I love that black on black love. I want to keep that black on black love. And I'm really about that. Whether it's with male or female with me. I think that's really important. Good sense of building up the community, keeping things within the community. But then again, it was a contradiction when I would think of female and female, me and like another girl, whether she's black, my same skin tone, or darker than me, whatever, you're black, but I'm just saying, because I would realize, okay, so we're supposed to be building up the community, right, representing this black on black love, but I know there are homosexuals and queer people within all types of communities, Asian or Latino, whatever, but still, this isn't really helping the community. I'm not saying you just cast away homosexual or queer people, whatever level of queer you happen to be. I'm not saying that. But if anything, I noticed this isn't helping the community. This is actually building. Two females aren't going to build up the community because you see, we can't really do much for the community. We literally can't build up the community as two females. We can't do anything, if you know what I mean. So in actuality, we're actually a harm to the community. And all those people before I used to hear about would be like, oh yeah, same-sex couples harm children because this, and this. A little bit I would listen and I would see like what they were talking about, but I, shut it out because I didn't want to hear that, right? Didn't want to be proven wrong, or I didn't want to be showed anything different from my own agenda, from what I wanted, what made me feel good, and that's understandable, It's kind of like human nature. So, I understood that, but now I open my eyes and it's just grace too, because I realize how much more I'm able to. It's like baby steps that I had to go through, because otherwise, if it was still like a couple of years ago, well, I would just shun it and I would reject it. My heart wasn't in the right place, and so it's just important to realize that certain things have to play out. Really, because maybe it'll take you to greater lengths than you can ever imagine. But it had to happen at the right moments. And see, the bigger pictures in me, I can't jump ahead and see certain things like I tried to. I try to imagine things and I try to plan things out. But anyway, that's up to the greater good. That's going to be left up to the greater power, highest power. And that's just fine. And trusting, things over to him. He's nothing but goodness. It's all he wants. And it kind of brings me to tears right now. I'm not on my period or anything, so that's not why I'm kind of loopy with feelings, as I say. But it's really beautiful to know that he looks out for me. It's really beautiful. Makes me want to cry. Anyway, whatever. Someone's like, ugh. Yeah, man, I notice so much more now and clear what those people used to talk about when they would say, talk down as I saw it. And they would discriminate or be bigots against, me and my girlfriend, or me and my same-sex relations, or just my attraction to same-sex, relations, right? I understand now how the ripple effect of what it has, on generations, and what you do exemplify when you show that stuff, and when you show it's okay, and when you push it out there. And it leads to confusion in so many different ways, and it may be innocent. Maybe your only goal was to show, okay, yeah, we're not trying to push this in anyone's face by holding hands in public. Me and my girlfriend, we're just showing, hey, we're here, and damn it, you're gonna respect us, right? You're not gonna throw eggs at us. You're not gonna come after us and lynch us. That's all. We're just taking a stand, whether you like it or not, right? But that down the line can turn into actually what we have today, where I feel where you have men who are no longer men and who feel like they can't. Number one, they feel like they don't have a place in society, and there's a lot of overcompensation. And then I feel like a lot of things on the female and the male side are being thrown off balance. You have the sexes having to overcompensate and not giving enough of their powers and their separate dignities and their separate strengths, because we are in fact separate, and that's a beautiful thing, right? And then of course when you get into one type of confusion, one type of gray area, it's like suddenly everything else kind of opens up and you start questioning other things. Okay, well, if this is valid, well, shouldn't I be valid in my attraction to lamppost, right? Write a storybook, write a children's book on that, about how you're normal, about how you're fine, it's okay either way, right? And before, whenever people used to say that, I would be like, that's infuriating, because why are you going to compare this to something as ridiculous as this? And I didn't understand how my love, honestly, was that ridiculous as that to them. And I'm not comparing it to the same level. Hell no. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to say, because I know how I feel. I know what it is. I know it's genuine attraction. Whenever I see a really pretty girl, I know, right? I know that there's not just physical attraction, but it's like, wow, I want to get to know her. I want to hold her hand. I want to, I want to be there for her, and I want her to hold me and all that stuff, so it's the average wanting of affection, I'd say, that you want from a male. Yeah, but I'm going to disclose that in reality, I found that there are certain things that females, they just don't think about. There are certain ways that they love you that are indeed different from a male. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I really wanted a man like on the inside. I'm not, saying all that, because indeed I was thinking about women, right? Female energy. But whether she was very feminine or very masculine or whatever. But yeah, like I realized some things that I was thinking about, like how she would hold me, like in my fantasies again. My girl would come up behind me and hold me and squeeze my stomach or whatever. Or she would like kiss my neck. I realized that it's more of like what I was idolizing that after was off of the male and female dynamic, right? And it was confusing because I'm like, okay, so why am I imitating, girlfriend and boyfriend stuff? Like, we're supposed to be like on a whole new inventive different level, but see, I realized it's actually not that different. It's not that revolutionary, right? Because either way I would have it. I've talked about this plenty of times in different ways, but it's like, my relationships with girls, it would always kind of idol and take after, male and female. Because you have one girl who sits like this and kind of represents one type of energy, and who's always doing this and this to the partner. It just amplifies more of other type of energy, more of a dominance or more of a submissive kind of, take, right? Versus you have the other partner who always does this, and this, and that represents, the opposite kind of energy, and, so, and I saw that, right? Like, you can see it easily, kind of. I'm not saying clothes always have to mean anything, but I'm saying, like, if you, look across the street and you see a couple who one looks to be more of a masculine energy, the other one looks to be more of a feminine energy, you kind of automatically assume, okay, so this is the one that does this stuff, this is the one that's the rock, right? She's the rock. Right? And then the other partner, she's the one who's mainly supported, and gets certain things and, whatever from the other partner, right? This partner does more of this stuff, and this partner does other stuff. And what I found was, even though, and it's funny, it's funny because it's just the queer community, like, I find they contradict themselves a lot, and we're people, so that's fine. It's expected, but they're like, yeah, well, we want the stereotype to go away, but it's like, okay, but like, you see that so often now, right? And I've talked about that, like when I was with my girlfriends and I had like my masculine representation, I hated it. Sometimes it crossed my mind when we were out in public holding hands, because I realized, oh shit, now I'm that couple. Now I'm that couple, and I'm the cliche now. I'm literally a walking cliche, because I'm exactly exemplifying, because like I was like in my feminism movement push, but yet I realized, okay, so I'm a feminist, and one of the very extreme feminists I'll add, because I was that kind of feminist, right? No masculinity, no manhood, no man. Okay, yeah, that was me. I know, that was me. But I'm just saying, but yet I realized that I was kind of taking after men, but yet I wanted to get rid of it's like, I realized this is back then. How can I want to get rid of the complete and the 100%, the total man, when I'm the kind of imitating and copying a man, right? Even if I don't mean to be, even if I just feel this is my energy, like, look at how I look right now, right? And look at the energy standard that is set. Like I said, because I have my girlfriend who looks, more feminine in a certain way, and then I'm looking how I look, and I'm like, And then I'll like examine the character of like our relationship and the things that she would do, the things that I would do, and, just like this kind of non-verbal way of the relationship, and like how we would hold each other, and how I was always the one who would hold her like this, and she never did that for me. And that's also a problem that I realized, because like I said, I would want my girlfriend to hold me a certain way, right? I would want to have that returned. I would want to receive certain intimacy of energy, and the girlfriend, usually she just wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. Number one, she didn't understand. It never crossed her mind to do it. Like, I always had to be the one to mention that, hey, hello, I'm still a girl, right? Can you show me a little bit of affection? Can you hold me a certain way? Like, can you make me feel like you're here for me, like you're going to protect me, right? Like, you're always going to be here, and whatever. All that stuff. I would always have to say it, and I was annoying as hell, right? Women don't like to have to keep repeating themselves. But, or eventually I just kind of let it go, because I felt kind of neglected. I would say it, and then she would maybe do it a few times, but it would be a little bit, like literally for a couple of minutes and like she would stop, right? And then it was okay, now hold me now. I guess that kind of goes into how girls are a lot to handle. So it depends on like the type of girl too. I'm not saying all girls are kind of, but it just in a way it kind of exemplifies how the whole female and male dynamic works, because like, that female, she would be expecting me to take care of her in a certain way. And whenever I wanted the same thing, suddenly it put her out of her comfort zone because she had to flip. She had to flip and see if that's not her nature, right? And whether I'm not saying that shows, your true gayness level or not, but when those aren't your true intentions, and that's not really your energy level, it makes things confusing. And I thought it was just the fact that, it's just because like I'm a STEM, right? It's just because, I'm by gender or whatever, and I feel different energies. I feel more masculine and I feel more feminine. Or no, it wasn't that at all. It was just because literally they're, like I said, simple biology, and the things that females think and the things that females act and the things that they want that don't go away, right? That are kind of universal. Boy, come on. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought it was something else, but now I'm starting to see it wasn't. It was just this simple. It was just the most simplistic thing, right? And that girl didn't understand that because she's so focused on me being taken care of. That was her center focus in the relationship, And she expects that again because she's a girl, right? I'm not saying all girls have to be like this soft, dainty, take care of me kind of thing. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're, girls are just stupid to the point where they don't know how to do things for themselves. It's not it at all. That's a perversion of what I'm saying. That's man's manipulation of words, and that's a twisting of something that shouldn't even be there. That's not what I'm saying, right? And what I'm noticing, it's not bad to need help. It's not bad to like need and ask for assistance. It's not bad to like, let a man take over and let them lead. It's not bad. So anyway, it's actually complimentary. And if anything, hell, like why? I mean, I know why, but I'm just saying it's kind of like a challenge to me. And triggers some things in my childhood, but it's like, who wouldn't want that? You have someone who's willing to open doors for you and help you. And this is after they can already tell, okay, well, this girl probably doesn't even like, men, right? And I'm talking like me as an example, but I'm still gonna be like, gentlemen, I'm still gonna like presume like my, man role or whatever, treat her dainty or whatever, try to support, right? Try to lead or whatever, be directed. Yeah, try to give her props because she is still a female, regardless if, she's gonna be the one who's, screwing me or not, like at the end of the night. Come on, boy, come on. Right? I think that's a really big step, and that's a good step in the direction. It's like, who wouldn't want that? And I remember I used to complain about stuff like that, like, why do you feel the need to do that for me? Why do you, don't do this? You're just doing this because I'm a girl, and, I don't need your help, and I don't need you to, So it was this very, like, it was a lot. And what I've been looking at, like, Genesis and everything like that, like, it just, and woman's point from then on, it just astounds me because that's the same things that we go through today. It's the same battle. We're battling each other, the sexes, and it shouldn't be that way. We should coexist to team up and battle the enemy, the main enemy, the real enemy, not battling each other. You see, that's a good distraction when we start battling each other and pinning things. What's her fault? And no, well, he did this, and well, he didn't tell me, and well, she just does whatever she wants to do, and I can't handle it, right? No, what I'm saying? That's a really good distraction. But see, the enemy knows that. We have some vulnerability. We obviously have weaknesses with our strengths as the different sexes. So looking back, I just realized that was a really good diversion from the start, because we were creation, but it's like even then in Eden, it's we weren't meant to be perfect, right? We weren't all knowing. We were innocent or whatever. I feel. Stop it. We were still exposed to things, right? Still able to be led and directed a certain way. So we weren't perfect, and we weren't golden boys and golden girls. But it's kind of amazing how I still see like some of these things still trickling down in today, and how we still fight each other in ways that we still fall far from where we're supposed to be. Because we get caught up in these things that, to be honest, are kind of just, Anyway, that's all I have. Well, I guess I can like talk about like the other thing. I know someone's like, oh. Anyway, if you're bored, then click off. But it's just things that I'm noticing. Like I said, so I went to my closet. This is what I really want to talk about. I went to my closet, and I really is what I really want to talk about. I went to my closet, and I was trying to pick out a shirt to wear. Because the whole feminine thing, I was like, okay, I don't want to do that like today. And plus, it was in my bags, and I was kind of lazy with it, so. But what I started to do is, I was picking out a shirt, and then I was looking at those shirts, and I was just like, this is really amazing. Like, I've really built a wardrobe for myself. Like, this is a lot, and I already made a video about that. But like, there's so much I've gotten for myself, and furthermore, there's so much I'll be able to give back because they're just clothes. And this is like the grace factor. Like, he really allowed me to live it out. He really allowed me to have my fun. Wasn't supposed to be permanent, I feel. But he was like, you know what? He's so gracious. He's like, you know what? If you're feeling like this, fine. If you want to live it out, if you want to have your fun, I'll give you that. So he allowed me the gracious of having the money to get those clothes. He allowed me the gracious of having the resources, right? Having these cheaper stores around me. He allowed me those opportunities, right, to get these clothes and to live out a certain way and live all this energy, right? Get it out of my system, okay? Like, I know you're feeling it. I know it's driving you crazy. So even though this isn't within my plan as you as a woman, as you as the woman that I made you, right? In regards to me, I'm gonna let you live it out. That's how gracious he is. He could have said no. He could have allowed me to self-destruct, but he didn't do that. Like I said, it was a necessity. It was having necessity, and it was either this or because I was hurting. I was really hurting. I was suffering, and anyway, then the enemy would have won, right? If I had self-destruct, if I let myself get to me, literally. Talking about suicide stuff here, and it was just, I realized that after I was already dressed and I was taking my dog out again earlier. I was like, you're so amazing. That was so beautiful. It was so nice and courteous and generous and gracious because you didn't have to do that. Now, see, like I said, I can always give this back. I've lived out this life. I've lived out the energy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing to know that I can get mine, I can live this sort of energy and feel good, and I don't have to, now that I realize, and I don't feel it's like a need, it's a necessity. I can wear these clothes and live out the energy and, still keep who I am, and, I can have this temporary living out of the energy that I feel. But I don't have to make it long term. What I'm getting to is that the fact that these clothes are temporary, right? Rufus, move. They're temporary. And that's just fine. They're not like surgeries, because those surgeries, if I got surgeries and hormones, that's forever. He didn't even allow that though. Because he knows what it would have done to me. He foresaw my future. I don't know what it looked like. I was imagining the best of things. I mean, at times, the worst of things, like, oh my god, like, what if I'm ugly? I mean, not just besides, like, looks, but my emotions and how I could feel and, living in the world as I imagined I would, right? The hardships and, being a black man and just being a trans person, yet alone, and the things I'd have to go through, and how my life would be altered. All the relationships. I started to see that. All my relationships. Rufus. No. Boy. Shh. All my relationships would be altered, especially, I just said no. Romantic relationships. And my dog would especially be altered. It would never have a certain flow. It would always be frustrating. Like, it would just be a lot of hoops I'd have to jump through for no reason. And I realized I was starting to think at a certain point in time, it would just be better Like, it is less complicated to have a relationship with a girl as a girl than all this, you know? Rufus, no. It's just amazing, like, because he could allow me to do that. But then, you can't get that back. These clothes, I can sell these clothes. I can always exchange them. I can just give them away. That's how generous he was. I can always sell these clothes, and I can always give these clothes away. Always. And I will have still lived my life a certain way. I will still have, enjoyed certain happiness, a certain amount of happiness within that energy and within that way of life. But see, those surgeries and everything, I can't get that back. If I had done that, you know what I'm saying? I can't get that back. And to be honest, there's so much, it wouldn't be getting back anything if I had done surgeries and hormones, because if anything, it's me that had done the giving. It's me that had given that money, given the time, and, trying to rearrange things and do this and this and this in my life. It's me who would have given up that money, given up that time, and given up that part of myself, relinquished those parts of myself that I would never have gotten back. But see, those things would have never been brought back to me. Never. In reality, when you do the surgeries, literally, that's you giving up a part of your body. Giving a part of me up. And I know that also scared me, even within that trans identity. I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared, because what if I lose myself? What if I lose who I am? Right? I'm me. But I don't want to lose myself and forget who I am. And it's way deeper than just, you're just cutting off your body. No, like, even then, it was, like, uncomfortable to imagine some sort of synthetic body parts or, anyway. And like I said, I can get that stuff back. I can sell those clothes, and I can get money back for that. When you do that, when you go that far, you can't get anything back from that. And he was so gracious. Like, I was frustrated because, like I said, this is like sophomore year. I wanted my look to start changing, and, whether I wanted it or not, it was happening. And like I said, I wanted more and more and more. I wanted more, more masculine energy and more masculine clothes. And I didn't get it all at once. I made a video about this. Like, I was like, I'm so happy about, like, how much I was able to build up for myself, how much of a wardrobe, and, and I'm not going to lie. It's the truth. Yeah, it made me feel better, right? It was good therapy for me, exercising that. Because, I'm just saying, like, he was so gracious. Like, not only did he supply me the money from the job or whatever, however I had my money at that point in time, he supplied money, he supplied the resources around me, he supplied the stores within my area. And not just any stores, right? Not like any H&M overblown price stores, no. Really cheap stores, too, to where it will be easily available. I could literally walk to these stores, and that's what I did. I remember walking to the stores, like, Saturday, Friday afternoon, whatever, when I wasn't working. It was summertime, it was hot, walking there with my pocket full of money, $75 or whatever, right? Just having a good old time in the store. Woo! Just running all through the aisles, I'm serious. And then walking back with just these hefty loads of just, right? And I had to keep telling myself, just 10 more minutes of walking. I'm almost there. Just 3 more blocks, right? So I really put in the time. It was really worth it to me. It wasn't just, this will really piss my mom off. No, see, it wasn't to hurt anyone. I had to live that out. I really had to. And he knew that. And he allowed me that. He allowed me that gracious opportunity. He didn't have to do that. He really didn't have to do that for me. And that's really what I noticed. He's so nice. He said, you know what? You go ahead. He didn't do it right away. I wasn't able to have all these things right away, but in time, I built myself up. And I guess I've hit my max point now, because I'm no longer, like, don't get me wrong, like, I still love 3-piece suits, and I still love the vest and the tie thing. If I ever become really, really, really materialistic again, to where I try to go out and buy that stuff, right, and buy, like, those $300 suits and things like that, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not even doing that, like, with the women's stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm not really into all that other stuff right now. I'm just, I feel like I'm comfortable with what I have. I've reached a point, like, where I no longer have to try to build anymore. Like, I'm comfortable And I've reached a certain point where I've gotten more than enough options. I've gotten gray dress shoes, I have black shoes, I have light brown monk straps. I have so many different variations of shoes. Still don't have those like rich dark brown like slip-ons. But still, I have my black Timberland boots, I have my brown boots, I have all different sorts of jeans, all different types of shirts, all different types of hats and watches and necklaces, and just, so I've really built something for myself. But I'm not stuck in that place anymore. I'm not like, okay, so this is going to be me forever, right? I'm not building on that anymore. I've just kind of left it alone. It's been such a long time since I thought about like expanding my wardrobe and trying to add on to that stuff, because it's like I'm not in the life anymore. I'm not even there. And it's kind of scary to think about it, but it's also amazing to see how much you can change. And anyway, it's not through me. Like, that's just, I feel like I've really run its course. And here we go. I'm not even going to say, oh yeah, it was just some phase. No, man. No, not that. That was something all on its own. But anyway, I'm going to tell you, I just realized how how blessed I am, and how caring he is of me, because he didn't have to do that. The fact that he allowed me to carry this out. He's like, okay, you know what? I'll let you live. I'll let you have your fun. But to a certain point, I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm going to wake you up. All right? But he allowed me that. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that at all. But even while he was giving me his gracious gifts and letting me get, these shirts and whatever, and focus on this, and this, all kind of other materialistic, stuff, right? He was still there for me, and he still knew that he wasn't going to let these things really consume me up to a certain point. Shh, stop, Rufus. He knew that. And that's really what I realized. And it's not just, oh, you're just making up dopey crap. No. Honestly, it's like something, spoke to me. It's like this like ran through me or something when I realized that. It's like, wow, like I just touched those clothes. Like I said, because I'm sitting there scanning the shirts in my closet. I'm like, wow, like, it's not me who built that. Like it was allowed. It was really allowed. And my mind wasn't on that track at all. Like I said, it's like something kind of spoke to me. It's like something put that in my head. So I was just looking at shirts. Oh, what am I going to wear? Okay, no. And then I realized, it's like suddenly that was placed in my head. And I take a step back and I'm like, wow. Like a spiritual sense. I'm like, wow. Like this is, that's true. That's a good thought. That's true. And then I started to run with it. Yeah, I see this. I see how all these doors opened up, and I see this and I see that. And I see how this could have been the possibility. And, he was just so gracious to offer me that and let it run its course and let me live. To give me the freedom and to give me that happiness that it will provide for me, so I can have that happiness, take it and go on. And I also think that it was meant to build me up and shape me, like I said, help me get over that hump, number one, because it was either my life or that, right? Maybe someone's like, oh, that's dramatic. Whatever. When I say, I don't know, you think you know, but you have no idea. Unless you've been there, you wouldn't know. Like, it's crazy, and it was just a lot of hurt. But anyway, Rufus, I do know that, this is, like I said, I'm in a metamorphosis. I'm changing, and, still changing. So, I've come from this place to this place, and it's something I always be able to look back on and be like, you know what? And see how much I've grown. Right? Not even like in a playful way. Oh man, I was so stupid back then. No, like, it's beautiful. I can look back and be like, I can't believe I used to feel this way, and how I've overcome, and it helps you really realize where you're at now from like examining like where you were. And it's kind of like that corny cliche thing, I know. In order to know where you're going, you have to know like where you've been. But it's just so beautiful. Like, he allowed me that, despite the fact, like, it's beautiful. And I can't even talk anymore in this video about how beautiful that is and how much it means to me that he had my back. Those nights I'm crying or whatever in my room and hurting, I mean, he felt the pain too, and he was right there, like, it's really beautiful. And it kind of just shows how much you can't be too dependent on things of this earth, and even people of this world, to a certain extent. You have to give yourself up spiritually. It's only like in the spirit you can confess everything, right? Because people on this earth of the flesh, they may not be able to handle, when you tell them, oh yeah, I remember when I used to think about stabbing Barbie dolls, right? People can't always handle certain things. People hit their limits of, okay, wow, you're really weird, you're messed up, let me put you somewhere. But see, when you're confessing things, you can always just, it's a green card, always. Come on. It's always a green light, go. You can come to me, you can talk to me, it's okay, right? So I remember just sitting in my bed crying about things, and that's the kind of stuff I felt like, even when I was embarrassed to share with other people, and I knew if I tried to, they'd be like, no, what's wrong with you? Get it together, and I already talked about such a pressure that I felt, like, of manhood, and also, like, you can't just talk to girls about that stuff. You can't talk to any girl about that, because girls, they're not coming from that placement of wanting, like, to live a certain masculine, manhood. They're not coming from that place. And I remember some girls I tried to talk to about this, like, they're sweet as, sugar and spice and everything nice. They were sweet, as most girls are, sensitive. They're like, oh, it's okay, you can talk to me and whatever, I'm here for you. So I would confess to them, they'd be like, I look at their face and they'd just be so confused because they didn't know what the hell to do. They're like, okay, well, I can't touch this. Like, I can see how that would hurt you. I can see how, like, that'd be a concern. But I literally can't do anything because I don't know anything about that, right? So, or they would be confused and disgusted. They'd be like, ew, why are you doing this? And why do you feel like this? And, so, and again, I also kind of felt like it was shunning and pushing me away and just kind of showing me more I'm alone. And that, that hurt me, because even more so. And the guys, I was trying to just have such a 100% passing guy thing that you can't come up to guys, your average guy, and talk about that stuff, because they're going to be like, okay, I don't get what the problem is. Or are you crying about your penis? Right? Because I don't have one. So yeah, that's how it is. It's like, yeah, so it's confusing on both sides, because like I said, I always said this. Because I wasn't over here and I wasn't over there. I wasn't fully with the males, and I wasn't, longing to go back to the females either. Rufus, drop it. So it's just, Rufus. Look at my dog. It's just, come on, my God. It's amazing. It's just amazing, Some things you can't always put into people. It's, because there's nothing that's going to get you like the spirit. So that's what I had to realize. And I did indeed realize it. Even when I always may not realize it. Like I said, I'm going to look back and realize, like another part of my life. Oh, man. Like, I remember when the spirit got me through this. I remember that. I remember when I was going through this hard time. And the hard time that I'm going through right now, I may not understand how I'm going to get over it. Or, how I'm going to, conquer this challenge. But just like the other time when it seemed so impossible, I seemed alone and seemed like I had to do everything by myself and carry all the weight, and I greatly did. I accepted the responsibility. I took on the challenge of this, and I carried on my own and went through things quietly on my own, whether with friends around me or not, because I felt like I could come to them about certain things, or I just didn't want to bother them, right? Because I was like, let me have my pride. This is my life. This is, this is the guilt that comes with living this life. This is the hurt that comes with living this way. So let me just put it all on my shoulders and let me just live it by myself. It didn't matter because I wasn't really ever alone. But I didn't realize that when I was living what I was living. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize that. Like I said, just looking back and remembering, like, how did I do that on my own? How did I get through that? I realize now. It wasn't just me, you know. I always had some kind of help. Look at this guy. I was always going to be supported some kind of way, you know. Anyway, that's all I have. That's all I have. Yeah, I guess that's it. I think I know what I'm going to title this. But anyway, if you made it this far, congratulations. It's another hour-long video. I know. Anyway, that's all I have. You made it this far, congratulations, and I'm out. So is my dog.